Hi guys, Samantha from Jessama Tutorials here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create a basic two-color skinner blend. Now what you're going to need to start this is you're just going to need two colors, and I've got Primo Cobalt and I've also got Primo White. Now you can use any color for this, you can use any brand for this, it doesn't matter what brand or color you use. It's basically the exact same. Now, to get your skinner blend started, you're going to want to have these conditioned, and then once you've got them conditioned, like I have, I've got them on my thickest setting, which is my number 7, so they're as thick as they get, and they're conditioned. You're going to need to cut them into a square. Now, you can use a ruler for this, but I find the quickest, easiest and most accurate way of doing it is to just take a rather large cutter and just cut out your square. Now I got these off eBay and I will include the link below if you're interested in having a look. Basically that's what I do. Then I take my tissue blade. Now this is plastic, you can get metal ones as well. Doesn't have to be that one. But anyway, I'll take my blade and I'll just make sure that all of the fringes that the cutter didn't quite cut perfectly are just squished up against the square so that we can cut this now into triangles. So to cut it into triangles, you're just going to want to cut from one corner to the other corner, like that, and you're going to want to do it on both. And then you're going to want to pick it up with your tissue blade, each one, just like that. And then you're just going to want to flip your triangles so that you have two triangles on top of each other. So I've just got a little bit of stuff here. Just flip it so that you have two triangles on top of each other. And that's what you need to start your skinner blend. Now this is just a 2-pot skinner blend. I'm going to do a 3-pot skinner blend later on in the future, basically. And I'll show you what you do with a 3-pot skinner blend. And now it doesn't have to be a 3-pot skinner blend, it can be a 5-pot skinner blend. You can put as many colors as you want, but I'll show that in a later video as it's a little different. Now you have two options when it comes to making this skinner blend with the 2-pot. You can put it together so that it's back in a square like that, or you can offset it slightly. Okay, I lied, you have 3 options. You can put it back into a square like that, or you can offset it like that, or you can take the 2 triangles and pop them like that. Now, my preferred method for a 2-pot skinner blend is to offset them so that you have a rectangle like that. You can of course have it like this. Now what this will do, if you have it like this, is you'll have a light blue and a dark blue. But if you offset it like this, you will end up with some pure white left and you'll end up with some pure cobalt left. So to just tidy it up to form it into a rectangle, you'll just chop off those 2 corners so you form a rectangle. Now I'm going to take you over to the pasta machine so you can see how I create the skinner blend. Okay, so we're over at the pasta machine. Now this is a cheap pasta machine that I got from Kmart. It's a $20 to $40 pasta machine, and so it's a real cheaper, and you have lots of problems with these that you need to learn how to fix, and I'll show some videos on how to deal with some pasta machine problems, and I'll include them in the links below. But there are also other pasta machines available that are much better, like the Atlas for instance, or the Atlas Modified. So if you can afford it, I recommend getting those better machines. But for most polymer clays, you're going to only be able to afford really a $20 to $40 machine, and really these machines work really well once you've figured out how to deal with the problems. So I'll include some links below on how to use a $20 to $40 pasta machine, as they can have a few problems that you might want to work out before using them. But anyway, let's say you've got your pasta machine and you know how to use it, and you've made friends with it basically. Now I'm going to show you how to make a skinner blend with it. So we had it on a tile like this, where we had, it's a rectangle now. Now when you put it in the pasta machine, you don't want to put it in like that. You want to put it in so that the blunt edge of your blue, or whichever color you're using, is in the pasta machine. If you put it over here, you haven't got any blunt edges, you've just got one solid color. When you put it in the pasta machine, you want to have two colors touching the rollers, and you just want to roll it through like that. Now this beginning stage is a little bit finicky because these are separate. Now when you fold it over, you don't want to be folding it over like this. You want to fold it so that your two colors are still touching the pasta machine rollers, but so that on either side of your skinner blend there's just one color. So on this side we've got the blue, this side we've got the white. I don't want to be seeing two colors on either side of this. The two colors are only supposed to be touching the rollers. So you'll fold it over like that, and then you want to put it through your pasta machine with the fold side down. This way it pushes the air bubbles up and out of your clay. Just like that. So you can see we still have two colors on the bottom and just one color on each side. And you'll fold it again and you'll run it through the pasta machine. And you'll fold it over and run it through the pasta machine. And you'll continue to do this 30 to 40 times. Folding it over so that the two colors are touching the rollers, and so that you only have one color on each side. That is the #1 rule with a skinner blend. If you were to fold it over like this, you would end up with a pretty color. You wouldn't end up with a blend. So I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but we are already where the white is already coming through a bit on the blue. So we've got a lightish blue over here, and the blue is coming through on the white, and you can see it, there's a bit of a dark streak over here. That is what you're looking for. So you'll just fold it over again, roll through the pasta machine, and you can see we're starting to get something happening over there. And you roll it through again. Now, when you're rolling it through, you want to make sure that when you fold it over, these colors are touching each other. So you can see it. We have one line here, another line there, and so we've basically got 6 different lines of color. Now, when you fold it, you want each individual line to be touching each other. So you want them to stay in their lanes. And this will give you a nice even skinner blend. Now, another thing I just want to point out before we carry on is we basically started with something square like this, maybe a little bit longer, but basically square. And you can see now that this is most definitely not square. And that is because as you're rolling it through the pasta machine is going to cause it to lengthen. Now, I've shown in a video how to use your pasta machine without width guides. Width guides help keep your sheet that you're rolling in a specific shape, but a lot of people don't have width guides, so there is a way of using your pasta machine and keeping your sheet a specific size without the width guides. And I'll just show you quickly now, but I'm going to do a separate video on it. So you basically just butt it up against the edge of your pasta machine. Let me just bring this over a bit. There. So you just butt it up against the edge of your pasta machine, and then you roll. And what this does is it gives you a straight edge. And then you'll reverse it, and you'll do it on the opposite side as well. And run it through. And so see, you can see it's keeping the edges straight. And you'll just continue to do that as you're doing your skinner blend. And this should prevent the sheet from expanding all the way to the entire width of your rollers. So we're almost done. We've got a pretty good Skinner blend. And you'll want to run this through about 30 to 40 times. It depends on which brand you're using to how many times you're going to have to run it through, and also how far gone your Skinner blend you want. Sometimes you want the Skinner blend to be a bit chunky, sometimes you want it to have streaks, sometimes you want it to be perfect. So really, the only thing dictating how many times you roll it through is what you want. But if you want it to be a nice perfect Skinner blend, you want to run it through quite a bit. Now souffle, I've found the Skinner blend happens faster. So you only need to run it through about half the amount of times that you would need to run it through with using Kato. Just thought that would be a quick tip to just say. Might want to try that out and see what happens. But basically we are just about finished with our Skinner blend. So I'm just going to roll this through one last time. So here is our blend. And I'm not sure if the camera is picking up the streaks. There are some streaks, so I'm just going to wipe those off. There we go. So that's basically our Skinner blend from white to cobalt. And you can see we've got some white left, and we have also got some cobalt left. And that is why I like the technique that I showed right in the beginning of the video. Now, I'm going to just bring you back over to the tile. Okay, so we're back over at the tile, and this is basically what it looks like. This is a generic Skinner blend, well, a generic two-part Skinner blend, and depending on which colours you use, you're going to get a different effect. This one was done using Primo, but depending on which brand you use, you can also get a different effect. This one was done using Fimo, True Yellow and True Blue, and you can see that we got a wonderful green gradient between the blue and the yellow. And this was just a two-part blend as well, same as this one. And so depending on which colours you use, you're going to get a different effect. Now you might be asking yourself, why exactly should I make a Skinner blend and what can I use it for? Now a Skinner blend is a base technique because it's used in so many different projects and many projects on the internet and on my website that I'm going to be showing. By the way, the website is jessamaTutorials.com, and if you're watching this on YouTube, I include it in the links below. But I include many tutorials on my website that include a Skinner blend, like this fire petal flower, which was done using a three-part Skinner blend with a red, orange and yellow with Fimo. And you wouldn't be able to do this if you didn't know how to do a Skinner blend. So a Skinner blend is a base technique that you really want to get familiar with before you start doing the more complex tutorials. And the reason you want to do a Skinner blend is it just creates a much more interesting technique look. It just gives your projects a much more interesting look. Like, here's some kaleidoscopes that I did using some Skinner blends, and it just adds some depth to your piece. And you can get many different effects. You can do Skinner blends with all sorts of colours and all sorts of brands. So these were done using Skinner blends as well. And you don't even have to use Skinner blends in canes. You can just use them on their own, like with these beads. Now these beads were using some Primo metallics, and I'll show them in a tutorial in a later video. And as you can see, they're just Skinner blends on their own. I'll just brighten it up so you can see better. There, so you can see they're just Skinner blends on their own, which is quite effective really. And you can take it to the next level even and use metallic clays. So this one was using Kato metallics, a Kato metallic Skinner blend, and then I did a mica shift over the top, and you can see that it gives you a wonderful effect. And I'm going to be doing a tutorial later on showing how to do a Skinner blend with two colours and then do a mica shift over it. But basically that's why you want to learn how to do a Skinner blend, because it's just such a versatile technique and it will just broaden your horizons on what you can do with polymer clay. So that's basically it for creating a skinner blend. And if you're watching this on YouTube, do please check out my website jessamaTutorials.com. And if you did find the video helpful, do check the links below, whether you're on YouTube, Pinterest or my website, as I'll have recommended videos there and I'll have related links as well, like a 3-part skinner blend. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.